Welcome to Antigua. We're about to experience a beautiful sunset here. What's the weather been like, Sid?
Well, there's been a bit of rain around, but it's been good today, and the weather forecast is good for tomorrow. So I think we're going to get both semi-finals in. Um, it's actually looking slightly worse for the weekend. We have got a reserve day for the finals, so I'm sure the finals going to end up being played as well, even if it rains on Saturday. But the odds are that it'll probably be okay on Saturday as well.
Great stuff. And we've just been to the Viv Richards ground where the semi-finals and the final will take place. Had a little bit of a walk across the pitch, didn't we? And what was our impression?
I think everything's looking nice. It's the outfield has been really well taken care of. I think we saw in St Lucia, we saw that England and the other teams were having trouble actually reaching the boundary because the ball was dying in the outfield because they put a lot of sand on the outfield after so much rain. But the outfield here looks really good, so I think that we'll see the ball whistling through and plenty of boundaries.
Okay, and we also had a press conference where we had Heather Knight and Mark Robinson. Any news on teams for tomorrow, or the England team specifically, Sid?
Yeah, we asked Mark Robinson about the England team, and I was obviously tight-lipped to claim they haven't even selected it yet, which may or may not be true. He did say that he felt that Tash Farron and Jenny Gunn had both not bowled enough overs to really be. He kind of hinted they weren't really in contention. So it does look likely that they won't be being brought in and that England will remain largely unchanged. He also mentioned Danny Hazell. He says she has at least got some overs under her belt now, but I think the hint will be that Danny Hazell will be replaced and that Lindsay Smith will be brought back. That will be my feeling. The other question was over Kirsty Gordon because she of course went off the field with an injury. She had a twinge in her back.
Yeah, and we did actually learn something that we didn't know, which was that she was given the day off training yesterday as a precautionary measure. So there is a possible ongoing issue, but they also, Mark Robinson suggested that she would most likely be ruled fit to play tomorrow. So that's really positive as far as England are concerned, especially given that we think that the conditions here are going to be conducive to spin. So that's great news. So England, can they win the semi-final tomorrow, Sid?
They can. I never feel terribly optimistic about these things, and India have been in great form. It has to be said that India have had a couple of really good wins, especially that win against Australia. You know, they looked in blistering form. And then Harmanpreet's 100 earlier in the tournament. England haven't shown that yet, but we know that they're capable of doing it as well. Mark Robinson mentioned Danny White. She's done it before. She'll be itching to go out there and do it again. We saw how fired up Danny White was during the last round of the group matches when she took a fantastic catch on the boundary and turned around and shushed the crowd. So England are definitely fired up. They could do it. I think if I was betting money on it, I'd probably go with India though. What do you think, Raf?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I wonder, though, whether India may possibly have peaked too soon. Obviously, we know that Harmanpreet is brilliant on her day, but perhaps she's already had her day or her 2 days in this tournament, and they are a team who, with the bat, do blow hot and cold a bit. So obviously, England could even bowl them out if Harmanpreet and if Smriti have a bad day tomorrow. So all to play for, I think, is
Absolutely.
the conclusion. And who do we think if England do win against India, who do we think they could end up playing in the final out of Australia and West Indies?
Well, if you'd asked me 2 weeks ago, I'd have definitely said Australia. I didn't rate the West Indies' chances at all, but having seen just how fired up the team were, how much the will to win is there for the West Indies. I think they could overcome Australia tomorrow. I think that Australia could be in for an upset. I think we're all assuming that Alyssa Healy is going to be back for Australia after her concussion. They've certainly, the hints have been that. And Australia will certainly need her to be on top of her game because she's been key for them in terms of scoring runs. And of course, when she didn't score any runs, that was the game they lost. But I think the West Indies could pull this off. What do you think, Raf?
Well, it's been great to see certainly the massive home support that West Indies have enjoyed, and that obviously does give them that X factor that you can't really account for. But I still think that it's going to be very, very tough for them to beat Australia. They did do it obviously that one time before in 2016. Can they do it again? I'm not necessarily convinced. I think Australia will be raring to go after losing that final group match, so my money would be on Australia. But we'll have to wait and see what the results are tomorrow, and good luck to England.